After 3 long months away, I returned home expecting warmth, the kind of laughter and comfort only family brings. Instead, I stepped into silence, a heavy quiet that pressed against me the moment I crossed the threshold. My wife greeted me at the door, her eyes flickering away from mine as if holding my gaze was suddenly too difficult. Something about her felt altered. Not just her expression, but her entire presence. I told myself I was imagining it, that being gone for so long had made me sensitive. But as the hours passed, I saw it. Her figure had changed. A faint curve in her stomach that hadn't been there before I left. My pulse quickened, dread clawing at my chest. She tried to keep things normal, serving dinner, chatting about ordinary topics, filling the air with meaningless noise. But I barely heard a word. That night, I sat silently in the living room, watching her carry out her usual chores. Every time she avoided looking at me, my suspicion hardened into something heavier. Before I had left months ago, I already had doubts. Messages on her phone she dismissed too quickly, late-night calls she brushed off as wrong numbers. I had buried those suspicions then. Now they came roaring back. The following morning, I couldn't hold it in any longer. I asked her directly, keeping my voice steady, "Are you pregnant?" Her face froze. She forced a small laugh, insisting I was imagining things, but the tremble in her lips betrayed her. Her hand brushed against her stomach, almost unconsciously, and that gesture spoke louder than her denial. I didn't argue. Instead, I reached for my bag and pulled out my phone. Before leaving for my trip, suspicion had already eaten at me, and in desperation, I'd installed a small hidden camera in the house. I had never wanted to check the footage. But now, I had no choice. My hand shook as I opened the files. Within seconds, my fears became reality. The screen showed her welcoming another man into our home, laughing with him, whispering secrets, kissing him. Moments that belonged only to us, stolen and replayed before my eyes. The house I had built with her, the walls I thought carried our memories, had become a stage for my humiliation. I couldn't breathe. My chest tightened, fury and grief tangling inside me. Across from me, she watched my face as she realized exactly what I was seeing. When the video ended, I turned to her, not with rage, but with a hollow emptiness that felt worse. "Did you see the video?" I asked quietly. She didn't reply. Tears filled her eyes, but she stayed silent. That silence was answer enough. Finally, she whispered, "I'm sorry." But the word meant nothing. Sorry couldn't undo the nights she betrayed me. Sorry couldn't make the child in her womb mine. Sorry couldn't piece back the trust she had shattered. I clenched my fists and stood, caught between the urge to scream and the need to collapse. She tried to explain, saying she was lonely, that it was a mistake, that she never intended for it to go so far. But to me, her excuses were just more blades in my chest. I had been loyal, sacrificing, working hard for our future. She had chosen selfishness, surrendering our vows for fleeting desire. The cruelest part wasn't only her infidelity, it was the pregnancy. That child was proof, a living reminder of what she had given to someone else. I couldn't stay. The home no longer felt like mine. The memories were poisoned. Picking up the same bag I had carried through the door just hours earlier, I headed back out. She clung to my arm, begging me not to leave, sobbing that she needed me, that she couldn't do this without me. But her pleas slid off me. I had been blind once, but I wasn't anymore. "You chose him the moment you let him in," I told her quietly. "You lost me when you thought I wouldn't see." Then I walked out. Behind me, her sobs echoed, but they couldn't drown the storm inside me. I didn't know where I was going or what would come next, but I knew one thing: I would never return to the woman who betrayed me so deeply. Her betrayal had destroyed the life I believed in. But in its wreckage, it also gave me a bitter strength. I wouldn't live under lies. I wouldn't raise another man's child. I wouldn't shoulder her guilt. The truth had finally been laid bare. And though it broke me, I knew walking away was the only way to survive.